Okay, we're back from 0920-959-0454. Ito isang malungkot na tanong. Sabi dito, good evening. Bakit po, Secretary Goles, kinakaya-kaya lang ng China ang Pilipinas? Wala bang gagawin ng gobyerno para matigil sila sa pa-survey-survey sa pag-aari ng Pilipinas?
May hakbang na tayo. Ando na nga yung pahayag ni Secretary Del Lorenzana. And I'd like to salute Secretary Lorenzana for being firm here. Not only in this particular case, but when somebody talked about the possibility of China constructing on Scarborough Shoal, he also made a statement that that's a no-no. That is a red line of sorts, no?
Pero hindi ba meron na nakatayo sa Scarborough Shoal?
Wala pa. But the reality right now, the geopolitical reality is rising China is starting to bully everybody. They're bullying even India. They're threatening Australia. They're threatening Japan. Japan announced that they would like to deploy their biggest ship inside the South China Sea. And China responded with a very strong statement that they would consider this a hostile act. So this is par for course for China. But there are many ways of going around this. And I think we have the advantage of proximity. We have the advantage of the fact that, again, the world is watching. And I think China cannot afford to overextend themselves and spoil the image, the good image that they would like to project. Yun ang bala natin. Kasi sila, very sensitive din sila sa image nila.
They're sensitive to image, but when it comes to what they believe to be their natural rights, they broke no opposition either.
Well, at least in this particular case, they cannot claim it's their core interest. They cannot claim it's their territory. So, not like in the South China Sea, they go back hundreds of years, thousands of years. They go back to their 1947 declaration of the Nine Dash Line. Dito wala.
Okay, 0997-227-9384 from Vince of Cagayan de Oro. Ang Pilipinas ay tuta ng China. How do you take that statement?
Hindi naman. Right now, China is using their soft power, no, to the advantage at the moment of the Philippines because of the, they have financial resources. They're extending
yung
this
agricultural imports nila na $1.2 billion.
Mga fruits dito sa atin.
Pera sa mga infrastruktura.
Pero yung sa infrastructure, medyo doon, medyo debatable yun kasi, pagdating sa infrastructure, let's say train, o kaya reclamation, ang contractor sila, ang nanalo ng mga awards yata dito, so their contractors will generate a lot of business. And I understand from what they're doing in Africa, in Pakistan, in Sri Lanka, a lot of the manpower will be coming from them. A lot of the technical people will be coming from them.
And they will do the same here for the infrastructure projects?
Precisely, that's my fear. So,
hindi nila pababayaan.
Makikinabang din sila. Hindi ito yung regalo sa atin, kasi unang-una, loan ito na babayaran natin.
Kaya lang, maybe the terms are what you might call soft.
Yeah, of course. Ngayon naman, halos lahat ng loans soft because the interest rate is so low.
Alright, 0927-200-3130. Dato June. Bago ko sagutin to si Dato June, pwede kong sabihin na ganito. Pansamantala, we are using a very soft diplomatic and political approach to dealing with the problems in China. When it becomes very, very clear that it's not possible and that China wants to have her way regardless, maybe you might see a different kind of reaction from the Philippines.
I hope so. In fact, I've always been saying one model that we can use is the model of Vietnam, which has a long history, thousands maybe of years, of engaging with China in a diplomatic way, in a commercial way, and even in a hostile military way. And so far, they've survived. They've survived the 1979 war. There was a 1988 naval encounter in the South Johnson area. They lost people, but still they managed to survive. They've continued beefing up their military. They have Sukhoi fighter planes. They have acquired 6 Kilo-class submarines. and they're buying the dreaded BrahMos missiles from India, as reported. And in fact, now India is helping them train in the use of their Sukhoi aircraft and also their Kilo-class submarines made in Russia.
Okay.
Ganun tayo dapat.
Oh, 0927-200-3130, Dato June, Davao Norte. Kailangang panindigan ng ating territory. Kaya natin yan. Magtulungan tayo.
Yes, ang maganda siguro ngayon, dapat magsimula na tayo mag-deploy ng yung more fishing vessels. Siguro the government, the BIPAR, can look at the possibility of even financing the acquisition of more fishing vessels now that we have it. We have to use Benham Rice to the maximum. As I said, no less than former Secretary Pahe told me that there's an abundant supply of fish in that area. He talked of a certain kind of tuna that is very good, that's very abundant in Benham Rice.
Marami palang pwedeng pangisdaan. Although I remember seeing a report about the Benham Rice na in-explore ng konti. Ang isda daw hindi gaano kadami, although I saw another report na yan ang breeding ground ng blue tuna.
Yung tuna na yan, yung spawning also, spawning area ng mga marami isda because of the vast amount of corals there.
Oh, wow.
Isipin mo na lang, 13 million hectares, you cannot go wrong. Kahit na 1 million hectares lang ang talagang may mga coral yan. That's a big area. If you compare that with the coral reef in the South China Sea, which accounts for about 10% of the fish supply of the world, maliliit yung mga coral formation doon eh. Kasi yan yung sa mga maliliit na island doon that were destroyed significantly by China's reclamation projects there.
Wow. 0910-262-9642 from Cesar of Tacloban. Kung di lang sana corrupt ang ating mga opisyal noon, sana makapagpapatayo na ng base militar sa Benham Rice.
Well, hindi naman siguro sa ano yun kasi 2012 lang natin ito na-claim, na panalo, no? So that's 5 years ago. Yung previous administration were just starting to do something about it. But as I said, now we have a research survey vessel thanks to the United States. We have the patrol planes, surveillance planes.
From Japan.
And dapat talaga gumawa tayo ng action dyan.
Okay, so
alam mo, ang tingin ko sa Benham Rice, parang frontier natin ito eh. This is some kind of a promised land, no? Where vast amounts of natural resources are available. Yun na lang, I think some people are betting na merong oil dyan, merong gas. So you can imagine the resources that we can generate, the fish, and so many other things.
Kaya ba natin pangalagaan yung dalawang bahagi ng ating bansa? The East and the West?
Well, we have to.
Pagka tayo nakilam ngayon sa Benham Rice at nagpatibay doon, baka makalimutan naman natin ang nangyayari dito sa West Philippines.
Hindi naman. Kasi unang-una, meron tayong Western Command, no? Diyan sa Palawan. That's dedicated to the West Philippine Sea. And that's undergoing beefing up also, no? Increase yung defense capability doon. Plus, now ito naman, now we are conscious of this one. And we have a naval facility in Northern Luzon, doon sa may San Vicente area, Santa Ana area. So probably, tapos sa Bicol, meron ding naval district doon sa may Legazpi. So perhaps one will have to decide kung sino magkakaroon ng jurisdiction dito.
Can we not put up some kind of capability in one of the islands that we possess in the West Philippine Sea? For better defense, for
Secretary
better...
Del Rosario announced, I think today, that we're going to start concreting our runway sa Pag-asa. Before, we were reluctant, we were a little hesitant to do that because China was always complaining. But now, after all the things that they did, we have all the reason to also upgrade our facilities, especially in Pag-asa where we have a runway there.
Okay, itong question ito is very unlikely, but I'll ask it anyway. But I think we want to answer that para we dispel all kinds of crazy rumors. 0918-915-8697. Good evening. Di kaya na bebenta na tayo sa China?
Hindi man. Saan? In what way?
In other words, that they will get all the advantages and that the government would simply give in.
Hindi naman. Kasi, as I said, ang dapat strategy dito is balancing. Hindi not tilting away, but tilting towards without sacrificing existing relationships. And right now, I think we're going through some balancing. Japan intervened. Japan, as you will recall, made a swing. Prime Minister Abe made a swing of the Philippines, Indonesia, Australia, and Vietnam. That is to ensure that we still remain in the orbit according to the announcement from the office of the Prime Minister Abe. So to me, that's a very good development. We are balancing everything, our relationship with Japan, our relationship with the USA. Right now, although right now we still don't know what is the policy of President Trump with respect to the Philippines. Ang binisita lang ng mga sekretary niya, Japan and Korea. Secretary Tillerson is visiting Japan, I think Korea, and even China itong coming days na ito.
Nga pala, lumabas sa dyaryo na pinutulan daw ni President Trump ang aid to the Philippines.
I don't know. I've not heard
Lumabas sa
of that.
dyaryo kanina yan eh.
Yung aid yata in general ang parang binawasan eh.
Oh, but whether it's in general or not, pwede.
In general, meaning yung aid package ng US with respect to several countries.
Wow. All right, from 0916-325-3883, from Lynn Amis of Siquijor, dapat bigyan ng pansin ng ating mga mambabatas. Well, she has not finished putting in the text, but to go back, should we be passing some degree of legislation about how to respond to these things that we are?
Meron na. Si Senator Angara, I think, filed a bill doon pa to create some kind of a development body to oversee the protection, the development, the planning of Benham rice. Because as I said, this is a big piece of real estate that has a big economic potential. So there, we can find out what to invest and then what economic returns to expect from this investment. Ito dapat ang attitude natin. No? Pag mag-deploy tayo, sabihin natin, okay, bili tayo ng dagdag na mga patrol ships, bili tayo ng eroplano, bili tayo ng another research ship. We should treat all of this as investments because the economic returns, the possibilities for economic returns are quite big.
Or alternatively, you can pay in produce.
Pwede rin. Oh,
O kaya, or commitments to buy more things from the Philippines if we buy all of this equipment.
Yes, yes. Oh.
Di ba?
I don't know how to finance this, no? There may be some constitutional restriction, like some people say, how about joint ventures? If this is doable, no constitutional limits, maybe. But however, I think we have enough money. Marami na tayong pera ngayon eh. We don't have the lack of foreign currency, not like before. I remember before we were talking of the lack of dollars. Now we have about 85 billion dollars surplus because of our strong OFW remittances.
Yeah, tumaas na 6% in January.
Tumaas. Andyan pa yung BPO. So that's another area which is about $23 billion a year being generated.
Okay, from 0916-325-3883 from Lynn Ami Siquijor, dapat bigyan ng pansin ng ating mga mambabatas kung tama ba ang ginawa ng presidente na nakipagkasundo lang sa presidente ng China na hindi man lang nagkukonsulta sa kanyang gabinete.
Yan ang hindi clear sa akin kasi I saw the press con, he mentioned that, but there was a clarification from Secretary Abella and the acting Secretary of Foreign Affairs in his press con, I think yesterday, said that there's no such agreement. Kasi pag mayroong agreement, dapat dumaan sa Department of Foreign Affairs yan. Any country-to-country agreement will have to pass through the DFA.
Well, for example, China's pledge to buy 1.2 billion in agricultural products. Does that have to pass through the DFA?
No, trade yun eh.
Trade kasi yun.
Trade yan eh. That's part of commerce.
Mm.
Oh, so that's a plus for us. I remember during the time of President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo, she proposed that we export more fruits to China because China lacks tropical fruits.
Mm.
Mabuti na nangyayari na yan. And that's good. Oh.
That does not need a treaty.
No, that's a continuous commerce. And that should
I
be
think that's what the President is really working towards, no? To increase the trade and commerce with us by diversifying our source of foreign exchange, diversifying our markets in terms of our traditional products,
Yeah.
and then trying to see if we can get some kind of technological cooperation established so that we can get more new technology coming in.
Yes, I can see the strategy of President Duterte because, you know, his term is 6 years. He would like to maximize the projects that he can claim during this 6-year term, and a good source of funding for this project would be China, because China is using their soft power. They're giving $50 billion to Pakistan. They gave $34 billion to Malaysia. And then Sri Lanka, they have an ongoing project, a little controversial, a port project worth about $1.5 billion. Yun lang, we have to make sure that maganda ang use of our own workers, also our own resources in the implementation of these projects funded by China. Baka naman ang mangyari, kasi yun ang complaint sa Africa, sa Sri Lanka, ganun din. Ang nangyayari kasi, sila ang magpifinance, pero yung mga tao din nila ang magtatrabaho doon.
Hindi nakakapagdagdag sa employment.
Oo, yung mga equipment din nila ang ginagamit doon. So parang ginamit natin yung pondo ng China to buy equipment from them and to buy work contracts, use their contractors. Yun sana ang ma-minimize.
Okay. Wala na po tayong panahon. So, as usual, there are still so many questions that need to be answered. And I want to thank Roy Lo here for having been with us once again. I hope na medyo nabago o gumanda ang pananaw ninyo o tungkol dito sa Benham Rice. It was named after an American geologist who was part of the U.S. Navy when he discovered that Benham Rice. Yung rice doon, ibig sabihin hindi bigas. Ibig sabihin lang yung lupa doon, tumataas na pa ganito. Parang basin. Mula sa ilalim ng dagat, pero nasa ilalim pa rin ng dagat. 50 meters ang lowest depth noon. Okay, let's pray. At kailangan natin ng panalangin dito para matulungan ang ating Pangulo na harapin lahat itong mga bagay na ito na bumabahala sa ating bansa. But all of this opportunity, if these problems are occasions for us to be triumphant with God's help. Panginoon, salamat sa iyong patnubay sa amin. Salamat, Panginoon, sa iyong tulong sa amin. Ipinapanalangin namin ang aming Pangulo at ang kanyang kabinete. Pinapanalangin namin na bigyan mo siya ng sapat na tibay ng loob at tiwala at wisyo para pangasiwaan itong bansa na gulong-gulo ang isip sa napakadaming problema. We pray, Lord, that you will just take care and give this nation a great opportunity to rise again, to be a nation that the whole world will be proud of. Not for some of the things that have happened, but for the good that will eventually come because you have promised to bless this nation. Salamat, Panginoon, sa iyong kabutihan at pagpapala sa amin dito. And I pray, Lord, that you will bless Caroelo here in all of the works that he is doing. Thank you for giving him the courage to stand up and make a position firm for our nation. He has absolutely no benefit here personally. We thank you, Lord, for all your protection and all of your blessing too. As far as our people are concerned, lahat ng nakikinig, pagpalain mo. Salamat, Panginoon, sa pangalan ni Jesus. Amen.
Amen.
So,